Let's learn to divide. First, let's learn some important words that we need to know for division. A quotient is the solution or the answer to a division problem. A remainder is a number that is left over after dividing. Divisible. That means that a number can be divided by another number without a remainder. Dividend. That's the number that is being divided. In the problem 4 divided by 2, it would be 4. The dividend 4 is being divided by 2, which is the divisor. The divisor is the number that another number is being divided by. In the problem 6 divided by 3, it would be 3. If you need to use a multiplication chart to find out the answer to a division problem, feel free. When multiplying, we use the left-hand side times the top to find our solution. But if we did the opposite, so 7 times 7 equals 49. If we were finding 49 divided by 7, we would go the opposite direction. First, let's take a look at division without remainders. I took a few of your problems for your assignment for Tuesday. So there is a little saying that helps me remember what steps we do to solve for division. The D stands for divide. Divide, multiply, that's what our M stands for, subtract, and bring down. If you have to repeat that again for longer division problems, then after you bring your number down, you'll go back to the top and start with those same steps. So let's start with number 10. 60 is our number that's inside the brackets. We say it first. So 60 divided by 5. So in order to find that answer, I must first start with division. But what am I dividing? 6 divided by 5. Or how many times does 5 go into the number 6? 5 goes into the number 6 once. Check. We just divided. Now we need to multiply. What are we multiplying? 1 times 5. Bring that number below the 6. So we have divided, we have multiplied. Next, we need to subtract. 6 minus 5 equals 1. Check. Bring down. That means I'm looking over here and bringing down any additional numbers and repeating those steps. So once you get to this part right here, we need to look at our steps. Did we divide, multiply, subtract, and bring down? Yes. Are we finished? No. We must start the same process over again, but this time we're starting with the number 10 when we divide. So 10 divided by 5. That's the same thing as thinking of 5 times what equals 10? 2. Check. We have the division part complete. Multiply. So we take our number that we just had here, multiply that by 5. 2 times 5, 10. Check. Subtract. 10 minus 10, 0. Since I have a 0 here, that means I'm not going to have a remainder and that my answer is, or my quotient is 12. Let's double check. Does 12 times 5 equal 60? Sure does. We have that correct. All right, let's move on to long division with remainders. So on Wednesday, we'll do 2-digit division by a 1-digit divisor, but there will be a remainder left over. So the steps of long division, as you can see, are here. We divide, multiply, subtract, and bring down. We do that over and over until the quotient is found. Here I see my dividend is 93 and my divisor is 7. What this 7 is telling me is that I need to know how to skip count by 7s, or I need to know how to multiply by 7s. So if you want to skip back and take a look at the 7s, you'll find all of your skip counting by 7s here. Okay, so once again, we start with division. We look at our 93 divided by 7, and I'm going to start with this number 9. Does 7 go into 9 at least once? 7 goes into 9 one time. That's our division step. Check. Now we must multiply. 1 times, I'm adding this multiplication sign here, you don't have to, it's just a way for you to help you remember that when you are going back through the steps after you divide and you're multiplying, you'll know what to multiply. 1 times 7, 7. Check. The S stands for subtract. 9 minus 7 equals 2. Check. Bring down the number that's left, which is 3. Check. Okay, I've went through all these steps once. Am I done? Nope. I must repeat until the quotient is found. How do I know if the quotient is found? Well, when I run out of numbers over here to bring down, if we end up with any leftovers, that's where we come in and find our remainders. So 23 is where we start over with division. So 23 divided by 7. I'm trying to think of a multiplication problem that will get me pretty close to 23 without going over 23. So I know 7 times 2 is 14, but I think I can get closer to 23. 7 times 3 equals 21. That's pretty close. Can I get any closer? 7 times 4 is 28. Oh, that's more than 23, I know this will not work. So I'm going to use my multiplication problem, 7 times 3 is 21, to solve. How many times does 7 go into 23? Well, it goes into 23 3 times. Check, we just divided. It may not have went into it evenly. That's where we may end up with our quote or with our remainder. Okay, so we divided. Let's multiply. If you're thinking, what do I multiply? Well, we already multiplied the 1 times 7, so we're kind of done there. So we look at the number that we just divided. 3 times 7 equals 21. Is that the number that we just decided on? Sure was. So I add the 21 below. Then check for multiplication. Now I need to subtract. 3 minus 1, 2. 2 minus 2, 0. Are there, okay, so let me do this here. Check. Are there any numbers left to bring down? I don't see any. We brought the 3 down. So this tells me that my remainder is 2. Let's do one more. Divide, multiply, subtract, and bring down. Do that over and over until your quotient is found. They don't call it long division for nothing. So far we're just doing 2-digit by 1-digit. Wait till we do 3-digit by 1-digit, or 4-digit by 1-digit, or 4-digit by 2 digits. It will get even longer. So let's get the basics of these down before we get to some of those harder division. Okay, where do I start? I have to divide. I'm looking at 72 first, and I read this as 72 divided by 2. So the first thing is, look at my number here. Can 2 go into 7? It can. 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 3 is 6. 2 times 4 is 8. We'll stop for there. If we need to come back and add some more multiples of 2, we will. But if you can skip count by 2s, you can multiply by 2. So 7 divided by 2. That's the first step. How many times does 2 go into 7? Let's see. 2 times 2 is 4. Can I get closer to 7? 2 times 3 is 6. That's pretty close. 2 times 4 is 8. That's also close, but it is more than 7. Won't work. Okay, so 2 times 3. That's actually our division step, because 7 divided by 2 is 3. Now we multiply. 3 times 2 equals 6. Check. What now? Oh yes, subtract. 7 minus 6 equals 1. Check. Bring down the next number, which is a 2. Check. Uh-oh, what do I do? 9 times out of 10, this is where kids are like, what do I do here? Start back over. But you're starting with the number 12. How many times does 2 go into 12? 12 divided by 2 is 6. 6 times 2 is 12. Subtract. 0. Do we have a remainder here? We do not, because our answer left over is 0. Okay. All right, kiddos, you got this. Let me know if you